Hey everyone, welcome back to another lesson. Today we're going to do another website practice. We're going to be creating this pretty slick looking website that has a background video with text in the front of it. So it's a really cool modern looking website, and I bet you've seen this in a couple places. I know that the PayPal website loves to use background videos and have text in the front of it. It looks really nice, really sleek, and it's actually pretty easy to implement. So we're going to go ahead and get started. All we're going to do is we're going to open up Komodo. And let's go ahead and make an HTML and a CSS file. So a new file from template should do. Let's go ahead and open up HTML5 and let's call this background video website. So background video website. Now in this website we're going to have to learn some new tags such as the video tag, and that shouldn't be too hard, and as well as some attributes we haven't looked at yet. So let's get started. Let's open this up. Let's give this an extension of HTML. And let's keep on going. So let's go ahead and save this into our web developer course, save as over here. And then we're going to call this background video website.html. Let's go ahead into our desktop. Let's go to our web developer course. And then let's just put this anywhere inside here. So background video.website. Now that we saved our HTML file, let's go ahead and make our CSS file, which we're going to be styling in. So let's go ahead and make a new file. Let's go ahead and save that through Control S or Control Save. And then let's call this video.css just so we know what it's called. The same folder in the web developer course, so desktop, web developer course, and over here should suffice. So let's go ahead and click Save. And we are ready to go. So first things first, in HTML, let's give this a title. Let's call this background video test. Alright, next up in the head section, we're going to work on our meta charset tag. So give this a meta tag, attribute of charset equals, in quotation marks, UTF-8. We should become accustomed to writing this in every one of our websites. So let's keep on going. Let's go ahead, and the last thing we're going to do in our head section is we're going to attach and have the CSS file link to our HTML. So let's go ahead and give ourselves a link tag. So it's going to be bracket link. We're going to establish a relationship, so it's a style sheet. So in quotation marks, we're going to write style sheet. Next attribute we're going to work on is type, so it's going to be called type equals, and we're going to put in quotation marks text / CSS. And the last attribute we want to put for the link tag is an href, so that we can link our file. We're going to put in quotation marks the file name. We called this video.css, so that's what we're going to put inside the href, video.css. And then let's close off this link tag, and we're ready to start working in the body. So the body we're going to work on in divisions. So we're going to create two divisions. We're going to have the background as a division, and we're going to have the text that's in front of it as a division. So let's go ahead and make two divisions, and we'll give them each their own identifiers. And let's go ahead and make a div, so div. And let's go ahead, instead of making an identifier, let's go ahead and make a class so we know how to work with classes. So class equals, and we'll call this one background. Let's go ahead and close that, give ourselves some little space, and let's go ahead and add that second division we're going to make. And then let's call this class equals. So go ahead and class equals, and we'll call this content because that's where our content's going to go. Let's go ahead and close that, give ourselves some space, and now let's work on the background. Now what does the background have? Well, it has this video that's running in the back. So the way we can put video inside of here is through a video tag. Just like we had an image tag, we have a video tag. So let's go ahead and give this a bracket video. So that's what the video tag looks like. Now there's many different attributes we're going to have to give this. So the first one is we're going to give this an identifier so that we can come back and style this video. So let's give this an ID with the name, let's go video. Alright, now the next attribute we're going to give it is something called preload. Now what preload would do is that when you load this website, now the website isn't going to show anything until the video has been fully downloaded by the browser and it's able to show. Now that's something we want to do. We don't want the website to load and have nothing in the background waiting for the browser to download something. So we're going to set the attribute preload, so preload, and we're going to set this to the value of auto. So in quotation marks we're going to write auto, and that's our first attribute that we're going to work with. Next thing is we want to do autoplay. So basically when this website loads, the video automatically starts playing. It doesn't wait for someone to click on a video. It basically starts playing as soon as it gets loaded. So we're going to add the attribute called autoplay. So it's going to be called autoplay, and we're going to give that a value of true because we do want it to autoplay. Next up is our loop attribute. Now, as you can see in this video, once this video finishes, it goes back and start again. So that's what we want. That's what we want. We don't want this video to end up freezing and being stuck on a frame. We want this video to continue looping, and it's going to look really clean. So we're going to go ahead and give this an attribute of loop equals, and in quotation marks, we're going to write loop. And that will be how we signify that we want the video to loop. Next up, we're going to use an attribute called muted, and I'm pretty sure you can already tell from the name of this attribute what it does. We don't want our video to have any background music or anything like that because it distracts people from the website. So we're going to give this a value of muted. So we want this video to be muted. So now we want to give the attribute of a source. We basically want to tell the HTML code where can we find this video file. So in the previous lecture or the lesson in this course, there's going to be a resources folder or resources document where you need to download the actual video that we're going to be using. So you want to put that video in the same folder that we're working with, web developer course, and the video is going to be called keyboard.mp4. Now if we run this over here, as you can see, it will be the video that we're going to be putting in the background. So as you can see, it's right there. Good looking. Alright, let's go ahead and continue working. So remember this name, keyboard.mp4, that's what the source is going to be. So let's X out of here, and we'll give this a source attribute. So source equals, and in quotation marks we're going to write keyboard.mp4, and that will be the last attribute we need to add. And now we can close off the video tag, and in between the video tag, just in case the browser fails to load the video, we want it to tell the user that, hey, we ran into an error and we couldn't load the video. So we're going to put words video not playable on your browser. So just in case they have an old browser, it will still be able to pop up something that will tell them, hey, this video is not playable on your browser. So let's go ahead and get out of this division because now we're finished working with the background, and now let's work on the content. So the first content that's in here is a heading, so we're going to put an H1. Now what do we have as the heading? Well, we have the Ultimate Web Developer as our heading, so Ultimate Web Developer. Next up, we want to put a paragraph, so bracket P, bracket, and then in here we're going to put that small little text that we have under it, everything you need to know on making a website. So everything you need to know on making a website. So looks good, and that is all of our HTML that we're going to be using. Next thing we're going to do is work on the CSS and get this looking really nice. So let's go ahead and over to our CSS file, and let's begin working on our CSS.